We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
We're seeing a trend where I think associations want to take certain measures to be able to add additional security to their complexes. Tell us about some of the challenges that may be associated with implementing those. Are there lines that may be crossed? What are some of the issues that a board needs to be aware of in order to be able to implement those? I'm talking about like camera systems, security systems, those types of things.
One of the biggest problems, as far as I can see, is that associations do not have police powers. They have, even if they hire a security guard, the security guard usually has no authority to touch someone or arrest someone or do anything other than call the police. When you set up cameras and so forth, if you start advertising yourself as having security, you might give people a false impression that they are secure, and then if something untoward happens, the association might find liability. There was an old case in California where they put up cameras and things like that and told people that they had security. Some person came across an empty field, broke into a house, and raped someone. And that person had been given a false sense of security and sued the association and won.
Because no one's monitoring those cameras, right? It's just maybe you can identify someone after something
But even if
happened.
they are.
There's also another issue, and this is a little bit more helpful to associations and to boards. There's a very famous case in Massachusetts where the court said when a unit owner made a complaint after something adverse happened to her and they made a complaint to the board that they didn't do enough to protect her, they said, wait a minute, you have the ability to protect yourself. Don't come to us. If you had, don't come to us to complain. Had you come to us and said you had a concern and you could put up and asked for bars in your window, we would have said yes. So it's a balancing. You can't. The board isn't mommy and papa. They're not. So is it a situation that the unit owner has the capability in and of himself? Can they put in their own alarm system within the house? There are things that they can do.
So are you saying that if someone comes to an association and says, I don't feel safe, I'm on the first floor, I'd like to put bars on the window or some sort of security, and the association says no, is there potential liability there?
Look, at the end of the day, as I'm always saying, people are going to sue the board no matter what.
Right.
That's the unfortunate reality of life in condominiums and, as we know, life in Massachusetts. People are very litigious. Whether or not the board would have any responsibility or liability is really going to depend on the facts. Is it a high-crime neighborhood? Has there been a lot of reports of break-ins in the area? Was the board aware of the break-ins? Were there break-ins? There's so many facts that go into determining whether or not the board's responsible.
And you're not an alarmist, which is great. I mean, you tell it the way it is.